And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Schmoes Show. I'm your host, the Infamous Oryan, and I'm a Schmo.
Chiral, and I'm a Schmo.
Are you sure?
I don't know.
How do you know when you know?
You just do.
Do host?
Pardon?
Oh, I thought... I'm going to introduce you to some music after this, because that was a good reference. Speaking of references, they're my aesthetic.
Are they?
No.
I've been thinking about that though,
What?
because it's like I've been looking at some of these, and I'm like, it's like at first I'm like, oh yeah, that's me, and then I read it, and I'm just like, oh no, it's not.
I feel like if you let yourself be defined by one aesthetic, you're kind of failing yourself as a person.
I think that's a good point. However, I would like to counter that with Nazi chic.
Go on, hit me. I'm ready for this.
A disclaimer. Oh my god, this this entry has more comments than actual content in it. All right. So this has a disclaimer at the top that says, please note, this page exists for the purpose of documentation, not promotion. Due to the role the Nazi Party played in history and the subsequent sensitive and offensive nature of this aesthetic, it is not recommended that you adopt it for yourself. Aesthetics Wiki does not endorse Nazi ideology, but it's important to acknowledge its
Oh my gosh, I'm looking at all these comments.
So Nazi chic is literally exactly that. It is Nazi fashion and symbolism, but it's chic.
Chic. Key colors, black, red, and white.
No.
Key values, fascism, eugenics, white nationalism, and Nazism. Key motifs, swastika. Creators, exact unknown. I'm pretty sure I know who created that. Pretty sure that we all know who created the Nazi aesthetic.
I don't know.
I heard it came from some art student who got rejected from art school for being too radical. Pretty punk if you ask me.
Oh my god, these comments are so dumb.
Oh, is it just people being offended?
Hello, yes, Nazism bad. And there's so many people that are just like, actually, it doesn't matter if you're just documenting it. People are gonna be hurt and offended, and you should take it down.
How many of these people are actually Jewish?
None. Absolutely none of them. I can guarantee it. What is this? All right, hopefully the newest edition of this article can explain how this aesthetic isn't an actual endorsement of Nazism and how it can be used to critique Nazism. If you want an aesthetic that actually does try to promote these values, there's always Fash Wave, but beware of the butthurt Nazis in the comment section. Just a heads up. All right, now I have to see what this is.
Yeah.
Specifically the comment section.
Fascist wave?
If you couldn't tell, Fash Wave is a portmanteau of the terms fascism and wave.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
I got my politics from an anime board. I'm not sure why women don't respect me.
Wait, where do you see that?
Go to Fash Wave.
I'm on Fash Wave.
This is it's in the little picture in the top right. This is too good.
I got my politics from an anime board, and I'm not sure why women don't respect me. That's fucking amazing.
It's like Ayn Rand, but she liked vaporwave.
Are you implying that Ayn Rand didn't like vaporwave?
So somebody took a picture of Hitler and some of his generals standing in front of the Eiffel Tower, threw a pink filter over it with a basic as fuck symbol in the background, and then white text on black background on the top says, "This world belongs to us."
Motherfucker, who made this?
This is so dumb.
Oh, God. I love this. I'm really sad Conroy couldn't be here today because this is something he would love.
This is right up his jam. It was literally Nazis and vaporwave.
Yes. Oh my god, it's
Wow.
fucking Hitler vaporwaved and compressed, and it said bad guys.
Yes.
It, I'm a little scared to say it, but does Hitler have a fandom?
Probably. I mean, neo Nazis are a thing, aren't they?
Oh, that's true.
It's just the Hitler fan club.
Yeah, the Hitler fan club. Oh my god, when is Hitler's next album coming out?
Oh my God, there's another one.
There's another one?
Labor wave.
Labor Wave?
Labor wave. Also known as Antifa wave.
Oh god.
Oh, they have a Doge meme, so they're automatically better.
Dude,
Capitalism sure does me a heckin' concern. Small wages when the bosso get big profit. Capitalist pigs bamboozled us again. Heckin' the patriarchy.
what the fuck?
Uh,
Is it like,
so yeah.
oh god, it
We
is
should
actually
probably do a
Doge.
bit more of a coherent intro here before we go too far down the rabbit hole. So today we're going to be taking a deeper look at the aesthetics wiki, and particularly looking at some of the aesthetics that are a bit more out there, and try and sort of, I guess, what's our goal going to be? Try and, I don't want to say understand these because some of them are pretty stupid. Critique, give comment on,
I
occasionally laugh at.
my goal is to find my personal aesthetic.
Yes. I would like to do the same too. I think it's going to be kind of hard though.
Yeah. I just found the
I'm
greatest image ever.
What's that? Oh. Oh yeah. Like it should be on a VHS cover, you know?
Yeah,
It's
that's me.
perfect.
I just posted a very hardcore vaporwave like um marks in the Communist Manifesto. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to turn my screen share on so the people watching this on YouTube can watch along.
Yes. I
Because
think
some of
that's
these
a
images
solid
are
idea.
fucking golden.
They're amazing.
Yes.
What is this? All right. Labor Wave page, the last picture.
Okay. Here we go. Guillotine wave.
With a random Avengers logo at the top.
Oh man, that's fucking rad. Rad, I say.
Yep. But I've been thinking the same. I think it'd be interesting to find like which aesthetic I most closely associate with, but I've been having a hard time with it.
I think
Um,
we both know mine based off the last episode.
yeah, didn't we already find it?
You said it, I kind of agree with like
Yeah,
30% of it, but yeah.
yeah, JoJo core. I mean,
JoJo core.
come on, come on.
I agree with it. I ain't fighting it.
In terms of those like a singular aesthetic, though, I don't think that's quite right. I think and we talked about this before. That is the problem with a lot of these is that they're too hyper focused on one aspect that it you know a well-rounded healthy individual should not be able to be described in a one or two word phrase.
Yeah, take that, Karen. I love how they said related aesthetics in JoJo's, and the first ones is bodybuilding.
I have a feeling that not many of the actual JoJo core are going to be taking up bodybuilding anytime soon.
It's a running joke in the fandom that watching JoJo makes you want to work out, and I'm not gonna lie, it does make me want to work out a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man, gotta get those gains. I'm 177 pounds of pure muscle
How else will I unlock my stand?
with an arrow. Oh,
One
jeez.
other thing that I wanted to do before we got too far into this was to give some examples of more mainstream aesthetic trends. And that's what a lot of these start off as, or at least turn into.
Yes.
for the popular ones at least. They just sort of become fashion trends. And one of the big ones of our generations has been hipsters. There has been got so much about hipsters.
I feel that's more of a millennial thing.
It definitely is. So like hipsters are the 2000s, the late 90s to early 2000s. The goth is like 80s into 90s. But they are also they I feel like at this point there's a pretty clear understanding when you say someone is a hipster, most people should have an understanding of what you mean by that. Yeah?
Yep. Um, Here's a hipster on my end because I went onto their page.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know. I don't like the hipster aesthetic because all it is just fucking quoting Scott Pilgrim and listening to that indie band that you saw with your friend once and you pretend to be the biggest fan ever because no one else has heard of them.
Yep. I will say on the whole, I agree. I do think that fashion wise, there's definitely a lot of it that has trickled down into the mainstream pretty heavily.
Oh yeah.
If you compare 90s and 80s fashion to 2000s 2010s fashion, the like muted colors have really come in a lot more, especially if you look at like the 80s and 90s. You have like coming off of disco and going into that sort of era, you have the pretty stark contrast between the goth and the metal type scenes, which are all very dark.
Yes.
And on the other side of it, you have very bright and vibrant colors and everything's poppy, and they're very much two sides of, I don't want to say the same coin, but
You know what I really blame
they
for
contradict each other
popularizing
very strongly.
muted colors sometimes?
What's that?
The fucking MCU has a lot of muted colors in it.
Yes, I think that's.
It's my least favorite thing about it because the fucking comics are so bright and colorful that when I
Mhm.
watch the MCU, I feel let down by the fucking desaturation of everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, not a fan of the hipster aesthetic, but I'm also a Mimi shit poster, so that's probably why.
Mhm.
Like, I feel like memeing shit posters like us are a direct response to hipsters.
Yep. That mentality in general, at least, the kinds of people who take themselves far too seriously.
Yes.
So here's a good example. It's actually the first image when you search hipster. Um, God, it's like 5p though. Holy shit! There we go. Copy image. Can I copy image? No, I can't.
I feel like he's going to
Thanks,
start telling me about his
vector software.
Abercrombie and Fitch trip. Actually, where do hipsters shop?
No specific place. The aesthetic space for it is actually surprisingly barren, and I think that's probably just as true because of how like old now the hipster idea is.
Yeah, that's lost a lot of what made it as pure, and it's been so derivative and derivative.
Yeah. So a couple of things for the hipster aesthetic that I just would point out that have come into the mainstream more is one, facial hair,
Yes.
because prior to the hipster aesthetic, facial hair, it was not uncommon, but it wasn't nearly as common as it is today. It didn't have nearly the kinds of subcultures that it has. Like not
Especially
even
like
close to it.
beardardodes.
Yeah. Um and the other thing is like the hipster approach to like especially in men for accessories, with how shoes and watches and glasses are viewed as less of a tool and more of a fashion piece now.
Yes. Um, for me, I don't know. It's not my. It's just such a product of its time, I guess you would say.
Mm-hmm.
Like 20 years from now, when my kids are around, they're probably going
Yep.
to be like, "What the hell is this ancient shit?" When they see a hipster.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's definitely true. And yeah, I don't know, the part of it that appeals to me is like the heavy use of like natural colors and natural materials. So like a lot of natural leather,
Okay. Yeah, I'll dig that.
not highly treated natural leather, less like heavily dyed things.
Mm-hmm.
But then on the other hand, there's a substantial part of it that's just really dumb.
Yeah, okay. I found meme punk. I think that's what
Yeah,
our thing is supposed to be called. No, it is not.
meme punk. Where is this?
It's an unfinished page.
A lot of them are.
Yeah.
I have a feeling I've seen some of the comments on this that a lot of the work seems to be done by very few people.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if this is just some high school clique that has a Discord channel server. So I found an aesthetic I want to talk about. Chiral?
What's that?
Okay.
Yes, I'm here.
So you and I are children in the 2000s, right?
Yes.
What was big in the 2000s?
Many things.
Okay. What was really coming over to America and hitting the mainstream around that time? That, like,
Oh, anime.
anime.
Yes.
And I feel like we are seeing something very similar with that with K-pop and Korean culture right now.
Absolutely. I would, yes. I think a part of that is, I'll let you finish, but yes, I agree. I definitely agree.
So I have found the new aesthetic of Korea Wave.
Korea Wave. I saw something about, where was that at?
And I would like to
Korea
share with you
Wave.
the aesthetic image that first pops up.
Korea Boost. Oh my god. That seems, ugh, a lot of this is pretty gross.
I don't get it.
Ugh.
It's too clean of an aesthetic for me.
Too, what do you mean by too clean?
Like, it feels like everything's washed out. Like the muted colors, the
Okay.
very washed out skin to make it look like it's just a sheet of paper.
Yeah. From that,
The
yes.
overly big eyes. Like, it works good on an
Yeah.
anime character because they're a fucking cartoon, but if you have
Yeah.
giant eyes, I think you have a tumor.
Yep.
But yes, um, I love this article because it has a whole list of K-pop bands to get
Mm.
into if you would like to know what the contemporary music scene is in South Korea. They
Hey, I know
even
one of
have,
these. Guess which one?
oh god, they also have playlist. I don't know. I feel like I'm kicking a hornet's nest right now when I talk about Korea, like
Yeah, I don't know.
Korea booze.
Looking at, I don't know if this is like an accurate depiction of it because I know people who I would have thought would fit into this, and they have, based on this, they definitely don't.
Yeah,
Like, it all just looks especially childish, for lack of a better word.
you found the words I was looking for. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It just does.
It doesn't, I don't know. I love how in this music article, and this is where my musicianship will start showing. I'm going to be very ripping into this, but South
Hmm.
Korean pop is influenced by styles and genres from around the world, such as experimental, rock, jazz, gospel, hip hop, R&B, reggae, electric dance, folk, country, and classical. I have never heard any fucking jazz influence in any of the K-pop songs I've ever heard.
That is such a bullshit list.
Unless I fucking see a C major 13 chord in your fucking K-pop, I'm not going to believe it. And where the hell does gospel fit into that? Where do the Koreans start singing about Jesus?
I want to know where the classical comes into it. Like, what the hell is that?
Oh, they'll just say they're the next generation of Beethoven. That's it.
You're not wrong.
You know, as someone who's doing a lot of research into Beethoven lately, I can tell you he would be head over heels, like dead, if he was ever compared to K-pop.
Yeah.
Beethoven was a really mean guy. I don't get it, dude. Reggae. Where's the reggae influence in all this? Start singing about oh, what is it? There's a Jamaican religion. That's specifically like an offshoot of Christianity to some kind where they um I don't know. I just know there's a
Wait, do
Bob
they
Marley
have?
song like that. I
Oh, all
what?
right. This is great. This is great. Okay, are you ready for this?
Hit me.
So I was gonna make the joke of, where's the reggae? Oh well, Rostacore took it all
Rostacore?
because that's a thing. Rostacore.
It's Rastafarianism. That's the religion.
It
That's
is
right.
the whole page literally has one sentence and it's completely irrelevant because the best part of it, the only thing you need is the single comment in it that just says, "This is just ska."
Oh, beautiful.
It's great. That's all
Oh,
you need. And then they don't have an actual section for ska, which seems like, maybe that's too old for the mods of this form.
dude. I remember there's this one music shop I go to in Tennessee whenever we visit Gatlinburg. It's called the Rhythm Section, and they have like these little sticker bags you can buy. And
Hmm.
I'll usually they're like $1, so I'll use my change or whatever to get them.
Yeah.
Um, and I found like this one. It was just filled with ska stickers of like ska bands I've never heard about, and I realized that there were such thing as good ska bands that didn't get popular, and those were all the stickers from them.
Oh, I had a joke there, but I lost it.
Oh,
Damn.
but yeah, that's Korea Wave,
Yep.
where they think K-pop is the epitome of music. How does it fucking take in
Yeah,
country?
I don't know. The thing is that K-pop in itself isn't inherently bad.
It's
Like I've
not.
heard some K-pop that is, clearly made by talented people, and there is nothing wrong with calling it good.
Yep.
It's just such a shit culture around it.
Yes. Like I said, we are kicking the hornet's nest right now. Like,
Uh,
if we get murdered in our sleep tonight, you'll know why.
yes.
The stands found us. Do you have an aesthetic? Because I have another one I can bring up.
Yeah, I actually found one that it's like a highly unfinished page, and
Oh,
it's more just the music than the actual aesthetic, but lo-fi,
lo-fi, hell yeah! I love lo-fi.
right?
Lo-fi is an aesthetic I can get behind.
Same. I could totally get behind that. It's like super unfinished, but
That's because it's the page itself is lo-fi.
oh man. But yeah, I could get behind that.
Oh hell yeah!
Do
Got
they have indigo? They do not. That's a newer genre that I've been hearing about. Like it like secondhand. There's a couple of music promotion channels I follow on YouTube, and they try at least to classify all the music they post by a genre.
okay.
And sometimes it's not the easiest thing to do when you're in like the electronic music scene because there's so many different genres that overlap and diverge. But one of the newer ones that I've heard of is called indigo, and it's like somewhere between hip hop and uh lo-fi. It's like it's weird. It's
Okay.
definitely makes sense why people call it its own name. Um but it's new. I'll just leave it at that. But yeah,
I'm always up for newest music.
if you want, let me pull up my other Chrome tab here. If you're looking to like look into it, an artist that I would recommend is, check out the name right here. It's not loading anything. There we go. Just listening to it earlier. Galdive, Galdive.
Okay.
She is a phenomenally talented musician. She does the actual music, she does the singing part, and she has a great voice. And it's like this weird mix, like this intersection between more 70s and 80s tones. So not even like hip hop to that extent, but mixed in with a heavier bass that you'd expect from lo-fi. It's really nice.
Interesting.
It's refreshing.
Huh.
So yes.
Any other phenomenal musicians you want to shout out?
Oh, there's this guy called the Infamous Oryan. I hear he's pretty good,
Thank you
but
so much. I needed that. Wink.
winky face emoji.
Okay. Um, you got another one? Cause I got one.
Holy shit, I actually do.
Hit me.
So much of this is just music. I
Mm-hmm.
wish there was a way to tidy up the list a bit more, but they actually have Italo disco.
Italo disco, like Italian
That
disco.
is like, yeah, because that's where modern house music and electronic actually comes from. Is the
Yeah, like
Italian disco.
the Giorgio Moroder.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm really shocked they have an entry for that.
that is.
That's kind of cool.
I blame Daft Punk for that one song where they did
Yes, those damn French bastards.
the French bastards talking to the Italian bastard in that one album that I claim is the best album of all time.
Hmm,
Random Access Memory is really good.
it's really good.
It's fucking phenomenal.
I have a live set of Daft Punks that I have downloaded
Uh,
from 2010. I think it's their. I think it's called Alive.
oh, really?
Oh my god, it's so good. It's like them mixing their own songs live.
That's so cool.
It's so good because there'll be 2007 Alive 2007 the live set. Oh my god. They have one of these that is a mix of what is it? Around the World and Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger. It's so fucking good.
I want to go see Daft Punk in concert one day, but I know that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I would love to. They need to do like one show somewhere that can't sell out. And then everyone will go and see it together and everyone will be happy for like the next 10 years.
I could go with Happiness right now.
So damn good.
Okay,
And
here's an aesthetic. Shout out to my girlfriend because this is totally her.
yeah,
Lovecore.
love core.
It is pretty much Valentine's Day all the fucking time.
Oh.
It's just activities, writing slash decorating love letters, baking, thinking about your crush slash partner, kissing, holding hands, cuddling, and going on dates. Sam. Anyway, this is, I don't know.
I love the subgenres part. There's like so much of this that's like this is the thing that's so fascinating about this is that you have stuff like lovecore and activity lists like that, and then it trends into the Pagano lovecore subgenre, which focuses on the iconography of love in Greco-Roman mythology and the Italian Renaissance rather than the Christian tradition. It's like what the hell? Where did this come from? And then they end it with easily overlapped with dark academia.
Oh my god, that's fucking amazing.
Man,
I I don't know. This is just funny to me. Um, and then it goes into cartoon core, the aesthetic of centered around Western animation, specifically American and Canadian,
yeah.
as opposed to anime core. You know we gotta hit that one before we leave.
Man, all right, I'm gonna look into this one some more.
What up?
There's some of these that are like really interesting that they just don't go into at all. Okay, do you know the coffin dance meme?
Yeah.
So that is one of the categories they have on here. Not the coffin dance meme, but it's called La Sape, a subculture centered on the cities of Kinshasa and Brazzaville in the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Republic of Congo, respectively. Moving embodies the elegance and style and manners of colonial predecessor dandies. Whatever the hell that means. But it's like it's exactly that. And it's actually like this is something that I would be interested in learning more about because it's so unique. Like how did this start? Where did it come from? How is it evolving today?
Of course. Well, I think today it's the dancing coffin meme, but
Yeah, that's the popularized view of it, but
the normie view.
there's got to be more than that. Oh my god, this guy's got a fucking kilt. I
Hell yeah.
respect it so much.
Yes. I found Costco Punk.
What?
Costco Punk. Costco
Costco
Punk,
Punk.
also known as Kirkland Wave or Costco Core, combines style elements of Costco brand and unironic celebration of consumer culture and items sold in large quantities. It shares a lot in common with Hot Topic Core, in that the entire aesthetic is centered around a business. Some complain that calling it Costco Punk goes against the punk ethos, but there is an argument to be made that going against the established punk aesthetics is a full and philosophy is paradoxically the most punk thing someone can do.
I love it. I'm still stuck on Kirkland Wave. That's amazing.
Uh, Costco Punk fashion comes exclusively from the Kirkland clothing line, which gives it a very normcore vibe. Although, while normcore is a conscious decision not to be overtly indulgent in one's fashion sense, Costco Punk fashion is a deliberate celebration of Costco and consumer culture.
Yeah, one of the first comments on it is they should rename it Costco Core
Yep,
because I mean they say because it's not punk. I say because alliteration is always better than not alliteration.
of course. What about, I don't know, Costco Core? Costco.
Visuals, Costco Punk visuals aren't just what is this pizza, especially the pizza.
I have a Costco membership and I have yet to go get pizza there yet.
I will say though, my folks have a Sam's Club membership, and I will begrudgingly admit Sam's Club has some pretty damn good pizza.
I've never had
If you
their
get it
pizza.
like, if you get it fresh in the store, if you get it to go, it's kind of shit. It's just frozen pizza. It's
Yep.
something with the way that they cook it. They must like grease up the crust or something.
Okay, Chiral, we have to go to the one that you thought was your aesthetic.
The
Vacation
the
Dadcore.
vacation, yeah. I saw the name for it, and I was just like, yes, that is me. Give me cargo shorts, give me polo shirts. I'm done. But this is like Vacation Dadcore circa 1980, not 2010.
Key motifs: day drinking, Hawaiian shirts, pools, vacation, beaches, socks and sandals, mustaches, wide brim hats, sport shades slash aviators.
Like I am here for all of that. I respect the hell out of people who can pull this off. Like one of the first pictures they have is the Magnum PI,
Yeah.
picture. Like pick any picture of Magnum PI. You're done. You're there. And if you can pull that off, more power to you. I can't. No way in hell I
It reminds me of that one kid from Olivet that always wore the Hawaiian
can.
shirts.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah, I wish that this was like all of the people who were, Magnum PI, very fit and toned and like proud of themselves, but I know it's not.
no. Dude, what the fuck? This one has a deep rabbit hole.
Yeah, it's extensive.
Someone really put a lot of time into this.
They actually have a bunch of real cocktails too.
Yeah. I love the dadcore music line.
Deadcore music. Where
Not
is
sorry,
this?
the vacation dadcore music. Examples of artists: Smash Mouth, Kansas; Elvis Presley, aka the Dad of Rock;
Yep.
Aha, Infamous, Wham, Rick Astley,
Wham.
Men at Work, The Bangles, Dolly Parton, Nirvana, Aerosmith, Oasis, Sir Mix-a-Lot, and Jimmy
Yep.
Buffett.
I would question some of these, but
Oh, I question Nirvana.
I was gonna say Nirvana and Aerosmith particularly stand out.
Yes, and Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Smash Mouth too. Like what the hell? How is that first?
I think that's for the younger dads in the audience.
Maybe. Yeah, I guess, but that wouldn't be this.
No.
That would be a different aesthetic. Dolly Parton. Yeah, sure.
I wonder if there's like an ogre core,
Ogre core, isn't there?
because like Shrek.
Oh, I don't think it's that.
I'm just going to type in Shrek and see what comes up.
There is not an ogre core.
Sad face. Shrek.
Operatic pop? The fuck? A subgenre of pop that is performed in the operatic singing style, or a song, theme, or motif from classical music stylized as pop.
Oh, gosh.
According to music historians, what? Okay, I'm done with this. You're making shit up there.
What, that? Oh, music historians is where you drop the line.
When they're talking about operatic pop, yeah,
Yeah.
yes, I do. I doubt any actual historian has spent any time analyzing operatic pop.
Fair.
Orange. Wait, what? No, that's not what it says. This goes from Orange-stagram to just orange.
Nice.
The hell? I have been completely deprived of my aesthetic. Orange core. What's your favorite fruit? Orange core.
Barbie core.
Barbie core. I have a feeling I know what that's gonna be. Like, I don't even need to go near it.
Oh, yeah. It's just Barbie.
It's just people who, yeah. Yep.
Ooh, they give out some specific artists that are associated with Barbie core. Anna Nicole Smith, Ariana Grande, Britney Spears, Fergie, Gwen Stefani, Hilary Duff, Katy Perry, Mariana, Miley Cyrus. Note they didn't put Hannah Montana.
Why is Aqua not in there?
Holy shit, why is Aqua not in there?
Right? Like, that should be number one.
That should be. How do you
Like,
do
alphabetically and thematically.
You have to argue Aqua invented Barbie core.
They did. They actually did.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, we can know this is no longer an accurate academic resource since they forgot Aqua. There's Bard core.
There's what?
Bard core.
Bardcore.
Yes. Just being a bard.
Scroll all the way up. Bardcore. Is this the aesthetic of it? Literally is. Oh my god, no, I'm done. It's just like actual bards.
Yes. Oh, what else is there? There's bitch.
I would assume that links back to dumbass core.
Bitch is a joke aesthetic that involves anything to do
Yep.
with being a bitch and doing bitchy things. Oh, what else do we have? I want to see some just real ratchet shit.
Can't no. These are bullshit.
What?
You can't have your decade of origin be 2020s. If it is literally 2020. If it originated in the 2020s, it originated in 2020. You can put a year on it.
Yes. What about easy listening aesthetic?
Easy listening.
Where's my Kenny G? Sometimes known as mood music, is a popular music genre and radio format that became popular during the 1950s and 70s. And there's no Kenny G. Motherfuckers. Formal office wear. What?
All right, this is another one of these where it's just like, yeah, I can be on board with some of this until you get to like one part and it's just like, what?
Wait, what is it?
So, forest punk, also known as forest core, is an aesthetic in the nature core family. Forest punk is less restrictive of technology, having a particular liking of solar-based items. Cooperation with nature and mutual support are core values present in all aspects of the aesthetic. Like, all right, I can understand that. I can get behind that.
Yes.
Um, going down to like the clothing stuff, it's like, what you would expect for, mutual, what is it, what did they have, cooperation with nature and mutual support. There's not really any specific restrictions, but it's also to an extent kind of minimalist and avoids, like, things that might be the misuse of animals. So it specifically talks about how, fur clothing is not unheard of, but because of the importance of harmony with nature, faux fur is preferred. It's like, all right, I get that. Completely loses me when it gets to the entire fucking section of interiors. All right, are you ready for this?
Hit me.
While the building itself is ideally a treehouse, this is not necessary, and a peaceful, earthy vibe can be achieved with the correct placement and style of furniture and other trinkets.
Nice.
What the hell?
Just bring in dirt.
Just dirt. Put dirt on the floor.
Dirt. The more worms, the better.
Did I already mention plants, mosses, and rocks? Anyway, yeah, plants, mosses, and rocks. I'm sorry, do you want your house to... I mean, I guess these people do. They want their house to be a shitty, humid dirt pile.
Yes.
There's a certain set of lifestyle aspects that go hand in hand with the aesthetics, such as regular foraging for food, gardening for fruits, nuts, veggie, fungi, and condiments. What condiments are you gardening for?
Mustard.
Ah, yes, I must go tend to the mustard plants. The harvest will be bountiful. BRB, gonna go turn these tomatoes into some goddamn ketchup.
Gonna need a lot of sugar for this one.
Pretty much.
So there's apparently simp.
Oh, wow. All right. I not found. There's okay, cool. This is an entire core that has a very specific date, not a decade of origin. It was made on a specific recent date, and it was so short-lived. The Tumblr page that started it no longer exists.
What?
Started on July 19th, 2020, not a month ago, by a specific Tumblr user. And if you try to go to their Tumblr page, it doesn't link to anywhere. The Tumblr page has been deleted, apparently.
You can tell that they got real proud with that aesthetic, and then they went on this wiki just to edit it in, and then people started making fun of them.
I don't think so. They didn't even finish.
Oh God.
They have like all these different categories that are just empty. Not like under construction. It's just gone.
What is it?
Fawn core.
What the fuck?
Yep. It was made by Tumblr user Fawncore, and then it doesn't link to anything. It just goes to some seizure-inducing. We could not find this. God, this is like actually horrible though. Like, click on the Tumblr link if you can.
Yeah. 1 second.
It goes to there's nothing here page, but it's like actually seizure-inducing.
That's what you get for going on Tumblr.
Here's a seizure for your trouble. Wasn't that what that was? Oh God, I can't remember. There was the internet historian video of the guy who
who faked a seizure, right?
Yeah, internet historian. What was that guy's name? Oh, you deserve a seizure for your post. That's what it was. You deserve a seizure for your post. Thanks, yes. Tumblr. I appreciate it.
So I've got some aesthetics that are juicy.
Yes.
Incel.
Okay. I wasn't expecting that one, but go on.
It's on here. Incel, a pseudonym for involuntary celibates, are members of an online subculture who define themselves as unable to find a romantic or sexual partner despite desiring one, a state they describe as inceldom. Many incels blame a variety of issues on why they became incels, be it physical, because they are too ugly, or societal, because women don't like pro gamers. But the irony is that most incels are just physically ugly dudes with ugly personalities. Are you an incel, Chiral?
No.
Okay.
I am very voluntarily celibate.
Am I incel?
I don't think so.
I don't remember. Dun dun dun. Oh God.
Where's one of the holy trinity of virginity shoes?
I like how they have the gallery like for fashion, and
Yeah.
it's fucking gamer mode shirt, a
Yep.
fedora, cargo
Yep.
pants, anime waifu, and Control Alt Delete.
Yep.
And then for the starter pack, it's a Monster Energy drink, 4chan, Pepe, the bad like shades, and Frederick Nietzsche's. Thus spoke Zazura.
Yep.
That's beautiful.
Seems about right.
Yep. Someone says this isn't an aesthetic. Misogyny isn't an aesthetic. On the other side of the coin, we have simp.
Yes, this is a much more new. I don't want to call it an aesthetic.
Is it though?
Dumbass core side trend. Man, does it have? What it actually stands for?
Uh, simp
What
is a
is it?
man that puts himself in a submissive position under a woman in
No,
hopes
no,
of
no.
winning them over.
Simp is an acronym.
Yeah, well, they don't have what the actual acronym is.
Simp has a Google definition already.
Fucking yeah, man.
I gotta find this. I heard it the other day and I can't remember what it is.
What?
Yes. All right. This is. I want to say it, but
Yeah, I know what it is.
I can't say the last word.
Yeah,
It's a bit too crass.
it is a bit too grasp.
All right, I'll tell you this.
Suckered into mediocre personality.
The last word is a synonym. Yeah, personality. There you go. Suckers idolizing mediocre personality.
There we go. There's the G
If you
rated.
know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yes.
Remember how everybody called iDubbbz a simp?
I mean, iDubbbz isn't a simp. He's just a cuck.
Okay, where is the line draw between a simp and a cuck?
Simps don't have girlfriends or wives. Simps are single.
Oh, there you
Almost
go.
exclusively. I feel like that's the important distinction.
That's a fair.
Trigger warning. Please note this page exists for the purposes of documentation, not promotion. God.
I love the Tom Nook plush they have up there that says, "Hey Queen, I saw your Twitter on your tweet about how men are trash, and I just want to let you know I agree. Although I am myself a man, I know, ugh, I am on your side. I'm one of the good ones. As you may say, by the way, I didn't notice how fat your boobs are, but they are awesome."
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone in the comments says, "Simp stands for squirrels in my pants." Now that's an old reference.
How old is that reference?
S to the I to the M to the P.
Oh shit.
What?
There is actually a song called. Oh, apparently the actual song is called Simp.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
The fact that Disney
Simp,
had
Squirrels in My
simp.
Pants is the name of the rap hip hop song in the episode Comet Chameleon by a group of rapping street performers called Two Guys in the Park in the Danville Park. The song was improvised when Candace passed by the group struggling to get two squirrels out of her pants.
Oh my god.
Like, I didn't think that was actually what it would be, but yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
When your childhood knows the future of humanity.
Beautiful.
So they wrote a song about entering a girl's pants trying to get a nut and called the song Simp. They are time travelers and no one can call me otherwise.
Holy shit! Oh, that's beautiful.
This is amazing.
Phineas and Ferb truly was ahead of its time.
Yeah, it's a great show. Still
Yeah.
is.
So, should we get to anime core?
Sure. Why
So,
not? Plenty of reasons why not, but we'll do it anyways.
I mean, you and I are children in the 2000s.
We are.
So we were there for the beginning of Anime Core and what it eventually terribly turned into.
Yeah.
Fuck. Where do you think we went wrong as a species?
I too many specific moments to name anyone.
Okay. I was gonna say anime, but
Uh, there's I don't know. I don't think so. I think if you only look at anime like pre 2010, yeah, a bit. But since then, it has really matured, I guess is the only way to put it.
okay.
So where even stuff like the kind of stuff that you would expect to be like exceptionally weeby, like the Vocaloid crap,
Yes.
there's actually some decent Vocaloid stuff being produced now
Oh
because
god.
the people who grew up with it in 2012, and sorry, 2012 is right in my face, in the early before 2010, um, they're not kids anymore. They're adults, and they can look back on it and say, "Yeah, that was pretty cringe. I was kind of stupid for doing that shit, but I still like it. It's still a part of me, and I want to do something legitimate with it."
Okay.
So, yeah,
I feel
I
like
mean,
we can just
there's definitely some stupid parts of it even through to today, but it's not nearly as bad as it was.
I found a topical aesthetic.
Yes.
Americana.
Americana. What do they have for that?
Key values: democracy, populism, and most importantly, freedom.
Not Americana though. Isn't Americana already a thing?
Related aesthetics: Western core, biker, greaser, to certain people, fash wave.
Yeah, Americana's already a thing.
Yeah, an aesthetic on here.
No, not the aesthetic.
What do you mean?
uh, like Americana is a all right. This is from Wikipedia. Americana related to the history, geography, folklore, and cultural heritage of the United States of America. Americana is any collection of materials and things concerning or characteristic of the United States or of the American people, and is representative or even stereotypical of American culture as a whole. And when I've always seen it, Americana is very particularly like pre 1950s.
Okay.
So like someone who has a collection of like stamps, or if you collect old baseball cards, or old American like posters and flyers and stuff like that. That is what I've always known Americana as. Like it's completely irrelevant to the actual America itself. It's the I don't want to say worship, that's not the right word, but it's like the remembrance and reflectance of what American culture was.
Okay, that's a fair assessment.
And then there's this kid online who's talking about greasers
Yep.
and Okies.
What the hell's an Okie?
People of Oklahoma. It's actually probably like a slur. Californians referred to migrant Midwestern farm workers as Okies. Yeah, sounds about right.
I don't understand, like, how do I put this? I don't understand who lives in Oklahoma. Worst state by far.
I mean, the only reason that people moved there at all is because the government literally paid them to go farm it.
Yeah. And that's kind of why I wonder if, like, that's why so many people, like, in that area are so pro government sometimes. Because they're literally raised in an environment where they were paid by the government to do stuff for the government.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because let's face it, no one wants to live in certain states. They just happen to just be stuck there. Worst state, go.
Worst state?
Yes. Some hot American like
So, like,
take.
ironic jokes, haha, meme state? Ohio.
Yes.
Actual worst state? Probably Alabama
Yes.
or Kentucky.
Yes.
But
Michigan.
Kentucky does have some cool parts.
Well, I mean, they got fried chicken.
It's just like, all right, this is gonna sound bad, but it's like I just don't like the people from Kentucky on the whole. It sounds really bad, but it's just like I can't understand it at all.
Yeah, I agree. It's not a top tier state. Like,
No.
one of these days we gotta do an American tier list of like top tier
If they
states.
vote out Mitt Romney, Jesus, Mitch McConnell, then we can come back and talk about the rankings. But as long as they're still willing to vote Mitch McConnell into office, fuck the state.
I don't understand what you're talking about. I think Mitch McConnell is quite the talented rat. He can speak in English and in Russian.
I was gonna say, you like Moscow Mitch?
Yeah, no, that's my favorite joke to make when
How
people talk
great is
about.
it that after Trump placed a 10% tariff, a 10% tariff, after Trump raised the price of aluminum in the U.S. by 10%, a bunch of Russian aluminum oligarchs are coming into play. How crazy is that?
Holy crap! Do we have to even remind people about the parlay incident?
I hope not.
No, because American attention spans are that short that they forgot about parlay. You know, that social media site the president was endorsing that happened to belong to a Russian company.
Mm, yes.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So we're done with Sim, closing out that tab. All right, I got a couple of newer aesthetics,
Hit me.
more widespread one
Okay.
at least. So hype beast.
Yes.
I don't know if I would necessarily call this an aesthetic. I don't know. It's hard to say. Is hyper materialism an aesthetic?
It's a
I
philosophy
suppose
by.
that's the question. It's definitely a philosophy, but is it an aesthetic?
I will grant it an aesthetic because by the value of it being materialism at all, it's automatically an aesthetic. Because aesthetics are
Is it okay?
inherently
So from
material.
how I think of aesthetics, at least, every aesthetic, in my opinion, has to have a predetermined like set of rules for in terms of style what falls into it.
Okay.
So from the onset, you should be able to very clearly say to be able to categorize one thing from another and to which aesthetic it falls into. And aesthetics can evolve, but there should always be at any given time a very clear way of saying, yes, this is from this aesthetic or this is from that aesthetic. The problem I have with that when it gets into this hyper materialism stuff, I suppose for the hype beast, if you can like specifically Supreme as a brand and just Supreme, that's understandable as an aesthetic.
Yeah.
But when you get into like other brands like Louis Vuitton and Gucci, the stuff is just so non-specific as to what it's actually going to look like that there's not a predetermined set of you can't put it in a box and say yes this is this aesthetic because it's so varied and
Yes.
stupid sometimes.
Okay, I can give that. But I would definitely call hypebeast an aesthetic.
As long as it doesn't extend past Supreme, I
Yeah.
would agree.
Yes. I would even call it a religion to some people.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Can Jesus be an aesthetic?
I mean, kind of.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Is Jesus an aesthetic? No, he's not.
Okay. I had to ask.
There is a Christmas music aesthetic though.
Hell yeah. Jingle
Well,
Bell
that's pretty
Rock,
close.
motherfucker.
Oh my god. Christmas music comprises this is just music. Subject matters range from the nativity of Jesus Christ to gift giving and merrymaking. Okay. This is just like
Were you expecting anything else?
at this point I shouldn't have been, but I was.
You should have been like expecting like figgy pudding, you know, Santa Claus, red-nosed reindeer.
Yeah.
There is one called
Uh,
Exy.
called what?
Exy.
How is that spelled?
EXI.
E. Oh, okay.
It's just from the existentialist movement in Germany during the 1950s.
And they can't even be bothered to link back to the existentialism
No.
aesthetic. SMH my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like basically the same thing.
How dare they?
How is this a fucking aesthetic? You're all driving me insane. Moving on from Simps and Hypebeasts, though, I want to
Yes.
get into a new one. Visco.
Okay.
So this one is kind of weird. Like Hypebeast, you can pretty, it's that Supreme and Gucci and all that stuff. Visco, though, is based off of, it's like an entire subculture based off of um, a filter from the photography app Visco, VSCO.
Okay.
And it's based around, like, it's like really hard to put into words. It's like Instagram, like the pinnacle of like Instagram culture.
I'm scared.
Like the same way that e girls and e boys are to Twitch,
Yeah.
Visco is to Instagram.
So, wow. Okay.
One of the particularly just stupid shit part about this is that they call their water bottles hydro flasks.
No.
Yes,
It's enslaved moisture. Get it right.
enslaved moisture. Oh my god, they have different seasonal Viscos.
Oh God.
This is some dumb shit. Autumn Visco, other name Autumn Bitch.
I'm sorry. Put bitch at the end of like any like aesthetic and that makes me laugh.
It's automatically funny.
Yeah, it just implies that whoever is into this is just a dumb bitch. Did you Yeah, you haven't seen Clone High, but
No, I haven't.
there's
So I
an
know you have to check
episode
it
where they
shortly.
make fun of Roadrunner cartoons with a character called Skunky Poo. And the whole point
Yes.
of it is he like, people are chasing after him, trying to catch him like a Roadrunner, but he outwits them and whatnot. And then he goes up to them and just says, "Try and catch me, bitch!" Funniest thing I've ever seen. Just, it's dumb, dumb comedy, but I love it.
Mm-hmm.
He just calls you a bitch and runs away. You have any more aesthetics? Because I'm running low.
Let me do a quick scan here. I thought I had one more, but I might not. One that I've been trying to look for that I haven't been able to find yet is like the 1930s Frank Sinatra style.
Crooner?
No, like not the crooners, but I mean maybe is that what it is? I haven't found anything that's like quite it. There's like parts of these that are closed. There's an evening black tie aesthetic, but that's not even close.
Are you just looking for like a neckbeard kind of aesthetic where it's like overpraising the
No,
classiness? Or.
like one that's a bit more serious than that.
Okay.
But so they have one that's electro swing, and that's like kind of close, but that's also too modern.
Yes.
But I feel, do you know what I mean? I feel like there has to be something
Yeah.
for that very specifically, and I can't find one for it.
I feel, I don't know. I
Not
noticed like
sure.
an overall jazz aesthetic is missing too.
Yeah,
Again, I'm almost certain this is done by a Discord full of teenagers.
absolutely.
Yeah. There's, I don't know. I'm just looking through some of these, and there's ones that are just automatic. You know what they're all about.
Yep.
And there's some stuff I'm very scared of to see. Like Tribal Goth.
Hacker redirects to geek. That's disappointing.
Ouch. There's Yandere Core.
I'm sure that's going to be exactly what I would expect.
Yeah.
Oh my god, there's one called Heroin Chic.
Go on.
This is like nothing to that. Heroin chic was a look popularized in the mid 90s fashion and characterized by pale skin, dark circles underneath the eyes, a very skinny body, dark red lipstick, and an angular bone structure.
So Tim Burton.
More like Lindsay Lohan.
Okay.
The look, characterized by emaciated features and androgyny, was a reaction against the healthy and vibrant look of models. How dare they look well fed?
That's perfect.
I can't find it again, but there was one of these that I saw that uh, had a bunch of music in it. It was weird. It was like a bunch of like specific dance music artists that were just randomly put under one of these headers. I can't find it again.
Oh god.
That's unfortunate.
Oh, I found Y2K.
Y2K, Y2K core.
Yeah, pretty much.
Y2K, the Yakuza. All right, we'll get to that in a second. Y2K.
Yakuza.
Gaze into the future that could have been. Yeah, it sounds about. It's like this is just like synthwave with extra steps.
You're not wrong.
Synthwave, but we based it in the color blue rather than purple.
Oh, that's perfect.
The Yakuza one is just Yakuza, also known as Gakudo, are members of transnational organized crime syndicates originating in Japan. That's literally it.
That's literally it. Damn.
All right. I'm pretty done here.
I am too. That was a fun trip. Now that we've had our giggles and whatnot, let's get depressed with the news.
Let's get depressed. Let's all get sad. This has been a weird news week. Holy shit.
Yeah, it has.
So we started off the week with this massive explosion in Beirut in Lebanon. Like, have you seen any of the video of this?
Yes, I have. I've seen several videos of it.
It's terrifying. Holy shit.
And that was from like aluminum nitrate?
Ammonium nitrate.
Ammonium nitrate, that's it.
So one of the things that I always remember ammonium nitrate for in like situations like this is the Oklahoma City bombing.
Oh,
When
shit.
was this? 1995. There was a domestic terrorist attack in Oklahoma City at the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building, where someone had like a truck bomb that they had made with ammonium nitrate. Ammonium nitrate is basically just a fertilizer. So it's one of those things that, at least at the time, you could get really easily, like pretty much anywhere. You know, farmers had shitload of the stuff that you could buy ammonium nitrate off of. Since then, it and a lot of things like it have been much more highly regulated because of situations like this.
Okay.
In that bombing, the Oklahoma City bombing, they had like less than 100 pounds of ammonium nitrate, which is still a lot. Like, think about like a bag of fertilizer that you would get at like Myers or Walmart.
Yeah.
They had bags of that size piled up in the back of this truck that they made into a bomb. So for the perspective of the bomb, it's not a bomb. The explosion that happened in Beirut, they had 2,750 tons of ammonium nitrate stored at this port that all detonated. The blast was bigger. I heard this. It was bigger than some nuclear explosions,
What?
because it's just so big. Like, so let me get some stats to throw your way.
Hit me.
So the bombs that were dropped in World War II weighed about 5 tons each. This explosion was detonated by 2,700 tons versus 5.
Okay.
It's it's crazy. And there's not nearly as much of, the same death as a result of this because it's not nuclear, of course. It's just a really big fuck off explosion. But still, holy shit. It's almost been more interesting as to what's happened after. The actual explosion was incredibly tragic. 300-ish people died as a result from what I've heard so far that they've been able to find.
Oh my god.
This is the kind of thing where if you're too close to it, everything's just vaporized.
Yes.
Sorry, official death toll is still only at 220. There's frankly no way it's going to stay that low. There was a number of factors that made this not nearly as bad as it would have been. It was at a port, so that's a big place with not so many people in it, which is helpful. It's not like it's residential. Because of COVID, a lot of the big office buildings that you see in the video of it that were nearby were empty because people weren't allowed to, go to work.
Yeah.
But there's still hundreds of thousands of people who have now had their homes destroyed, or at least have homes without windows and doors because they all got blown out.
Mm-hmm.
And as a result of it, this has been a massive catalyst for anti-government protests and riots in all of Lebanon. These were already going on before the explosion happened, and the mishandling and incompetence that have just surrounded this entire situation have really pushed it to the limit. So where we're at today, where apparently Lebanon's government has resigned. Like the whole government, apparently. So apparently, like, this is a situation where the corruption in Lebanon is apparently so ingrained in the government itself that the only way to get rid of it is to get rid of the entire government.
And people thought defunding the police was extreme.
Yeah. Like, holy shit. Apparently one of the major things with the explosion, why this was here in the first place, was because of a shipment. It started 6 years ago is when this started, where a ship was ported in Beirut and was determined that it wasn't fit to actually leave. It was too heavily damaged.
Yes.
So the actual ship itself and its crew were impounded on in the port. Eventually all of the crew was sent back to their home countries, and all of the contents of the ship were, I guess, I'm not sure what the word for it would be, taken and held in this warehouse at the port while they waited to figure out legally what happened with it.
Yes.
And there were numerous messages that went from the people who were dealing with this shit that were just like, hey, this is still here. We need you guys to do your jobs and come to a legal decision as to what's actually going to happen with this. And they never did. They were just ignored by these justices, these judges, and it just sat there for 6 years.
And kaboom.
And then kaboom.
Wow.
Have they said what sparked it?
No, I don't believe they have.
One of the things that I've seen a lot of news places do lately that's pretty damn remarkable is the before and after pictures of this kind of stuff.
Okay.
And they have one for the location of the blast compared to, before and after.
Yeah.
There's just a hole, an actual hole.
Just this, it looks like Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Someone took a hole punch and just clipped it out.
Yep.
And it's just gone.
Cut and paste somewhere else.
Wow. It's incredibly tragic. So what was the cause?
The ammonium nitrate.
Blame the detonation on the ammonium nitrate. Yes, but ammonium nitrate doesn't just go off on its own.
No. I mean, as a chemist, you should know that.
Right. I mean, even if you take a highly explosive reactionary substance like C4, you can literally light it on fire and it won't detonate. You have to usually, for something like this, have an electrical charge go through it. So I'm wondering, was there an electrical fire for something else? Did something just, I don't know.
The sad part is the people who probably do know were probably caught in the explosion.
Yeah. Apparently 20 people have been arrested so far. Yeah. Incredibly tragic, entirely avoidable.
I mean, what do you even have to say to this? Because it's. I don't know. There's nothing to really comment on because we don't know what happened.
Yeah.
We just know that. I don't know.
The other really tragic part of this is that right next to where the blast was is a massive grain storage.
Oh,
So in some of the pictures,
no.
you'll see there's this like white, almost looks like a building standing up right next to where the explosion was. And these are like blast reinforced grain silos that are specifically designed to be able to withstand like bombs so that they can't be destroyed in like a terrorist attack because these are literally grain reserves. These are like the
Look,
reserves for the country.
yes.
So even if, you know, the people who were responsible are held accountable and, you know, were able to rebuild all the buildings that were destroyed, that's an entire nation's worth of grain that's just been destroyed
That
for the most part.
is scary.
Yeah, there's going to be huge issues now, not just with the actual blast and the aftermath of that, but with starvation as food starts to run short.
Yeah. And it's not like there's a mass pandemic going on right now. So it's not going to be easy to replace that.
Yeah, right. It's incredibly sad,
My,
incredibly tragic.
my thoughts and prayers go out to Lebanon.
Oh man, what else? What else? What else? So, do we want to go to Belarus or Mauritania? I don't know how to pronounce that.
Let's go to the one you can pronounce.
The one I can pronounce. Belarus, it is. Okay. Uh, Alexander Lukashenko is a dictator of Belarus, and there was what a very much appears to be a sham election that happened, which he magically won with an 80% count of the vote. What do you know?
Everybody
The
keep
guy everyone hates got 80% of the vote.
everybody keep eyes on this. We might need this information for later.
It's like this whole thing is just so disgusting. Germany's already come out very vocally in opposition to the results, but like here's the list of all the shit that happened. So first,
Okay.
the current president, big air quotes there, President Lukashenko had all of the opposition people who were running against him arrested on bogus charges so that they couldn't run against him.
Remind you of anybody?
The only person who was able to run against him was the wife of one of the opposition candidates who managed to not, who wasn't arrested and was on the ballot. Second thing,
Okay.
one voting precinct was reported to have 143% voter turnout.
143.
143, 1.4 times the population of that precinct showed up and voted. How great is that?
I fucking love patriotism like that.
I mean, that's the joke. Russians love voting. Some even do it 2 or 3 times.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, there's that. That's bullshit. Their video that's been circulating around that apparently shows poll workers sneaking out back windows of the polling centers with large black garbage bags, which are believed to contain like ballots that were just never submitted.
Nice.
There were reports of some of the ballots having Lukashenko's name pre-circled in on like the bubble form. So you either voted for him, or if you tried to vote against him, they specifically made it so that it looked like you were voting for 2 people and your ballot was disqualified.
That is fucking scary.
Yep. So yeah, riots in Belarus now,
As there should.
as there should be. It's pretty messed up.
Everybody pay attention to that in a couple months.
Yeah.
Just saying.
All right. I know how to say the other one now.
Congratulations.
Mauritius
Mauritius.
is a country in East Africa coastal, had a Japanese tanker ship that ended up running aground on their coast and has now started to leak huge amounts of oil. Fuel, sorry,
Nice.
not oil, fuel. This wasn't an oil tanker specifically, but it appears that because of where the ship ran aground and was damaged, it's now leaking its own fuel.
Nice.
So yeah, it's believed to so far have spilled over 1,000 tons of its oil into the waters. Believed to have had 4,000 tons of oil on it. One of the things with this that I didn't realize was how much oil, fuel oil, these ships carry when they do this kind of stuff.
Don't they like bring stuff to like last like several months over what they're projected to use?
Yeah, like to a ridiculous amount. Let
Yeah.
me see if I can find this here. I was reading a Reddit post that someone had where they actually like spelled out how much oil is on these ships, and it's like literally millions of gallons at a time, which is
Nice.
nowhere near how much the oil tankers have, of course, but that's still a ridiculous amount. Here we go. So many container ships that are meant to go through the newer parts of the Panama Canal that have been widened um, they range in size, but they can carry between 2.5 million and 3.5 million gallons of fuel. Can burn up to 63,000 gallons of fuel per day.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's not healthy.
And for some perspective on the difference between this and like an actual tanker spill, like the Exxon Valdez, this ship can spill up to about 4,000 tons. An actual oil tanker would be holding 318,000 tons.
Oh my
So
god.
literal orders of magnitude different, but it's still tragic.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Was also reading a bit of speculation, but what the hell, that a lot of these more recent oil disasters could be a result of when oil prices tanked so badly where they actually went negative, and now people have these orders for oil that were literally worthless, that they couldn't get rid of, that they now have to find places to store the oil that they acquired, that they bought,
Yes.
and they can't. So they're buying like ancient decrepit ships and just throwing it out there in the middle of the sea, and it'll basically
No.
just be a waste, a wait to see how long it takes for them to crack.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb.
We inherited quite the mess.
Yep. What else do I got? Chicago,
Oh,
local
great.
boys. Chicago protests are apparently a thing.
When aren't they a thing?
That's what I call Wednesday night. But Tish, no, this is like actual protests though. Apparently, more than 100 people. I mean, I don't want to even say protests. This is like looting and
Yeah.
rioting. Apparently, over 100 individuals have been arrested for looting, disorderly conduct, and battery against police. Um, yeah, I'm sure that there is some legitimate protests that are going on right now, but there also seems to be, at least for Chicago, a disproportionate number of people who are not.
What even started all this?
Um, the wide number of recent crimes by police officers against black people.
Okay.
I
That's all I
mean,
need to hear.
there's too many to pick just one.
Yeah.
It started off more locally at some of these places, but it really started to gain traction when social media posts came out from, like, these are the protests against police brutality, and then video comes out of the police continuing their brutality at those protests. That's where it really started to take off,
One
from
of
what
the
I've been seeing.
dumbest things I've seen on Facebook lately are people who are like, police are not committing these crimes against black people, or else they would be charged against them. I'm like, who's gonna fucking charge them? The police?
Yeah, exactly. That's always the problem.
They can literally do
Police have to
whatever they
carry out the
want.
investigations, but they're investigating themselves.
Yeah. And of course, police unions are there, so
Yep.
it's not like those investigations aren't going to be, influenced by that. It's really fucked.
It definitely is.
Oh, did you hear about QAnon?
Uh, not specifically.
So if you go into the show planning section of our Discord, I linked an article in there from Vice.
Yes, I
QAnon,
opened it.
yes, QAnon is now considered a threat to Homeland Security.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fucking brilliant.
I'm not surprised. It is. I don't know. I'll just say I'm not surprised.
Should we explain what QAnon is to those who weren't here for the first time we talked about it?
Go for it.
So QAnon is the mother of all conspiracy theories. It is literally a whole bunch of people who think they're smarter than everybody, uh, putting conspiracy theory up to conspiracy theory, and they believe they've unraveled this giant web of human trafficking and like mass conspiracy of just child kidnappings that all link together and stuff like that. And it's all just a giant mess.
Yep.
I remember seeing a tweet from someone that said the only reason conspiracy theorists want to believe in conspiracy theories is so they can have something they know more than you.
Yeah, and also it's easier for someone to believe. For people who don't know any better, who are too, frankly, stupid to know any better, it's easier for people like that to believe, the whole thing of a reassuring lie rather than an uncomfortable truth. Almost always, these conspiracy theories paint the people who believe them as like the good guys. So it's always the us against them. It's in this case Trump versus the shadow state cabal.
Oh God, yeah. A lot of these, I went on the hashtag
Mhm.
QAnon on Twitter just to like research, do some in the field research of these
Yeah,
people,
yeah,
and I always love it because they're always like, yeah, Trump's in the conspiracy, but he's the good guy trying to get this information leaked out.
yeah. Of course he is.
Yeah, that's why he was on the Epstein Island. That's why he was here. This is why that was there. And I'm just like, damn, aren't you apologist?
Yeah. It's terrible. It's just really, really dumb. One of the big problem is that it's not just your typical crazy conspiracy theorist type people who are believing this kind of garbage now.
No.
There was an interview conducted with the head of, I want to say, the New York Police Union,
Okay.
and in that interview, he's in his like home office. It looks like he has a QAnon mug in the background of it, just sitting in his office.
I love how this QAnon mission to free like all these trafficked people is selling merchandise.
Yeah, right. Probably made in China. Not like they can afford anything else.
Yeah. I
Yeah, it's a real problem.
I would love to go down the QAnon rabbit hole and just unravel as much as possible about it, like just fact check
Mhm.
everything.
There's honestly too much, and that's one of the things that they get away with for it too.
Yeah.
Is that there's so much bullshit that is they make new stuff up faster than you can debunk the old stuff. If they'll even believe you when you actually debunk it,
Oh, they won't
because
believe
that's
you
because they won't exactly.
because you're part of the lizard people.
Yep.
You, as someone who does not believe in the conspiracy, are part of the conspiracy,
Yep.
and you should be ashamed of that. You pedophile.
It presents a lot of the same challenges from like a national security perspective as ISIS did.
Yes.
One of the whole things with ISIS that made it so difficult to combat is that ISIS was never, it had a core philosophy to it, which was to reestablish, the great Islamic State. It's in the goddamn name.
Yes.
But there was never a centralized group of power in the same way that Al Qaeda or Mossad or any of these traditional extremist Islamic groups have. there was never a core group of individuals that led it. It was always just a group of people who held the same ideas. And because of that, it could pop up anywhere. That's why there were situations literally all over the world when it was at its peak with people trying to carry out terror attacks. Because you don't need any particularly hard to come by tools to commit a terrorist attack, especially in the US. And it's so easy for these people to get radicalized through the internet that it could pop up literally anywhere. I remember hearing that as the core ISIS like military side of it was falling in Syria, there were new ISIS movements in with like large military action starting in North Africa, which is also a heavily Islamic area, plenty of access to weapons and extremist beliefs, charismatic personalities, and people who are spreading misinformation can go a long way in a place like that.
Well, that's the problem too. Is charismatic people spreading these false ideas to, frankly, people who don't need to be hearing this stuff that can't think for themselves.
Right, right.
Yeah,
It's
it's
very, it's kind of scary.
yeah. We live in such an age of misinformation. I mean, look at the people who believe the Earth is flat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. How many times have flat earthers proved themselves wrong?
a lot.
Yeah. And at the end of it, it's not because they're trying to actually prove that the earth is flat. It's, you know, an inclusion thing. These are people who are either exceptionally misguided or stupid to the point where they are pushed outside of typical social groups. And these kinds of places give them a home.
Unfortunately, which are just echo chambers of bad
Fortunately.
ideas.
Yeah. Just
People need
having a
more
place where you can
hobbies.
tell someone who's down on their luck that they matter, that's going to turn a lot of people.
Yeah, and let's face it, there's a lot of people down on their luck nowadays, especially after the Great Recession.
Yep.
Holy shit, it's almost like we're debunking this whole like age of America. Fuck. People need just hobbies and book clubs and HUDs.
Yep, pretty much. Book clubs aren't nearly as exciting as international conspiracy theories, though.
Fuck, it is a book club though when you think about it.
Kind of is.
Hey Steve, did you read that QAnon post about the child endangerment theories in Africa? Hell yeah, brother.
So was ISIS.
Yeah.
Just a very specific book that they read a lot.
They don't go into literary analysis. They just go, yes, 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 yes. I read that. I read that.
Yes. In lighter news, I actually have some not super serious news.
Oh, go ahead.
Toshiba is no longer going to be in the laptop business for the first time since, God, 1980?
Hmm.
35 years. They've sold off the last remaining parts of their computing, like at all, division to Sharp. 1985. There it is. Yeah. So, kind of a small footnote in history, but Toshiba was a giant in computing, especially in like the 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah, I remember the commercials. Like,
Mm-hmm.
wasn't like Toshiba handy books?
Yep. 2011, they sold 17 million computers.
Damn. I think my first computer was a Toshiba. No, it was a Dell. Never mind.
I know I've had a Toshiba laptop at some point. It wasn't a good one, but it was cheap,
Hmm.
which is like that's the brand.
Yeah. There's a reason why they're no longer around.
Yeah,
It's really hard to compete with some of the newer stuff.
definitely is. What else do I have here? So apparently, this is just kind of an odd story that the BBC picked up for some reason. A bear in Mexico, a juvenile black bear that was found to be friendly towards like people, ended up being caught and castrated. because of the risk that it poses. You know,
Yeah,
it's apparently been fed a lot, so it has no problem coming up to people and looking for like food and stuff. And it's like I get it, but it seems like a bit of an extreme reaction.
it
It's one of
seems
those things where they only mention it in the headline, and then they don't really talk about it in the article at all as to why.
it sounds like one of those adult movies that try to be like a kids movie at first, like adult anime movies. And then they had like that spin at the end that makes it super adult, that makes it spiral out into adult situations.
Yeah.
He was just your regular bear until they took something very important from him. Rob Schneider is, I don't know,
A bear.
a bear. Rated PG 13.
Yeah. What else? Oh, okay. So this is kind of cool.
Okay.
Um, a metal detectorist found a Bronze Age horse harness that was apparently preserved well enough that it actually has parts of the leather still intact.
Oh, that's sweet.
It's actually really cool. It was a harness for a horse that actually has the leather, so they can see what the harness actually looked like.
Yeah.
And they've also found a sword that was still in its scabbard, so it should
Whoa.
be like excellently preserved.
Sharp. Pointy. Much death.
Pointy. But yeah,
Huh.
really cool. So, beginning of the Bronze Age. This is in Scotland, I want to say this happened. 2000 BC. So this is stuff that's about 4,000 years old.
So where's the horse?
Hella dead,
Oh,
gone, reduced to atoms.
I used the horse to destroy the horse.
Last bit that I have here. I only brought it up because it's like such a boomer news article.
Hit me.
Fake background office chatter helps me work from home.
Yo, okay. I was just posting on Twitter about something like that. Go on.
So apparently there's this guy, he's a statistician who's working from home right now, and I guess he plays background noise that sounds like office chatter so that he can work from home better.
Um, I was watching baseball the other day with my folks, and there was like nobody in the crowds because of COVID, right?
Yep.
But obviously they still had the cheers going on. Um, and it was just spooky to me because there's nobody to cheer for them there at all. It's just guys
Right.
playing baseball.
I
And
remember hearing about some place that was having people pay to make cheers sound off in a stadium.
yeah, you were telling me about that.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Um, anyway, so like I'm watching this and it's obviously going off on the broadcast and whatnot. There's still cheers and whatnot, and it just made me wonder: do they use those canned cheers in actual baseball games, like no matter what, when they broadcast them? So like when there's a full crowd, are we actually hearing the crowd or like some canned audience cheers that they just happen to like that makes it sound better and more exciting?
They honestly probably do. And it's probably not for a full crowd. It's probably if they have like a light day. They
Yeah,
still want it to, because they're televising it still. It's got to sound real.
yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if they do.
yeah. That was just something that just occurred to me today, because I was just thinking, especially for like days where the games aren't that exciting.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, or say the home team is just losing badly, so everybody's like not feeling the energy. Probably can that right there. It was just weird thought, and I feel like I'm the first person to ever come to that conclusion. But I also don't hang around sports people that much.
Mm-hmm. This whole thing with the office noise, though, I can't understand it. And I guess we both work in pretty like not traditional offices,
Yeah,
but I do not want to hear the kind of garbage that's in the lab where I work at home. It's so noisy.
is it?
Yeah, well, I mean, because there's all like there's equipment and stuff, of course, but we have fume hoods all over the place with huge fans that vent air through them.
Of course, because
So
you're
it's
working
just
with
like
chemicals.
constant fan noise, but like right in your ears all the time.
Do you at least get to listen to music?
Yes, but we're only allowed to have like one earbud or one ear of a headphone on.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Especially late at night when I'm at the store, I just listen to a podcast most of the time.
Yep.
I don't know. What's a day in the life of Chiral's office?
It depends on the day.
Okay.
Usually Friday is my prep day where I'll just prep solutions and products. And then Saturday I do testing. And then Sunday is like what else needs to be done that I can get done.
Okay.
Or testing day part two, depending on how much stuff there is.
Okay.
Yeah. That's usually my week. Sometimes I'll get thrown some curveballs if people are like out and I have to do their job too.
But you did
It's
get
always fun.
Employee of the Month this month.
I did. Yes, thank you. I appreciate it for mentioning it. But yeah, that was kind of nice. I guess I must be doing something right.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Put that on your resume. Then you'll start getting the big jobs.
Oh yeah, I got to have the fish on my desk. At the lab, we have like an employee of the month trophy sort of a thing, but the person who started it had their dad carve it out of wood because apparently that's his hobby. So they had him carve. I don't know why, but it's a fish.
Yeah.
So we have an employee of the month fish.
And just moves around from desk to desk.
Yep, once a month.
That whore.
Been all over Allegan.
I think it'd be cool to work in a lab like that.
Um, I
I mean, I'm granted,
yes,
I'm the layperson in this situation, and I'm not a specialist in your field like you are. So,
I've been in other labs before, and the noise part of it usually isn't this bad.
okay,
Um, I wish we had more areas we could go to, like actual office areas, just so we could, take an hour to go do paperwork stuff and not have to be in the lab still. That would be a huge relief.
just because more
But
peace
we
and
don't
quiet.
have that. Yeah, just quieter, You don't have to worry about being in people's way.
That makes sense.
But it's not so bad. It could be worse, right?
Yeah,
I guess that's the positive perspective that you gotta take. I'm not working in fast food, so hey, could be worse.
you could be working at a grocery store.
I feel like I'd rather work at a grocery store than fast food.
Oh hell yeah, dude. No, I worked in pizza for like 3 years, and
Yeah.
grocery store is much better.
Anywhere that you have to be in close proximity to hot things sucks.
Yes.
Like, doesn't matter the industry. If it's more than 90 degrees on a regular basis, that sucks.
Yes. One of my favorite things is that at my job, my office has AC now, so
Nice.
it's
Oh my
like
god.
20
I
degrees
wish we had
cooler than the
AC.
rest of the store.
I mean, we have AC where I work, but the building's from like the 60s and the 70s, so it only works most of the time.
Yeah.
There's been a couple of really bad weekends we've had where the AC just went out for
Yeah.
some reason, and it got almost up to 90 degrees.
That's rough.
It was miserable.
We've had our like cooling units on our roof like
Mhm.
melt before from the heat.
That's pretty bad.
That is really bad. Well, I'm out of stuff,
I think I'm out of stuff too.
and I think Robert Downey Jr. is stuff. I'm quoting a really bad meme.
Oh,
It's like that one really cringy Marvel meme that was going around like a year ago.
Robert Downey Jr. does stuff. I don't know this actually.
Oh, you don't? It was like everywhere.
Is it the Spider-Man meme?
Yeah.
Okay, yes, I'm seeing it.
Yeah, people like it was so cringy. People started making versions of it where Robert Downey Jr. says, "I'm stuff."
Yeah, I actually didn't see any of this.
Oh man, dude, it was everywhere. It was like surreally, really like all over the place, and it got funnier the more on it like ironic it got.
There's some pretty good ironic ones though.
Yeah, I give that meme a good 8 out of 10. Junior, I'm
Oh,
stuff.
sorry, I think it cut out there. Was that
Oh, nothing. I was just
8 out of 10?
8 out of
I
10.
don't think I would put it that high.
What would you put it as?
6,
Fair enough.
maybe. I'm just seeing it though, so maybe I'm not getting the best of it.
You're kind of like in the post meme of it, so you're kind of getting just like
Yeah.
yeah, the highlights, not the weirder stuff that happened in its prime.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Oh, there's a Robert. I don't even. I'm trying to think of a pun for this. There's Cheems Doge, Robert Downey Jr.
I love
for
Doge
some
memes.
reason.
Doge lore.
It's pretty remarkable.
Have you seen like r/Doge lore?
No.
It's like this
Although
whole
this is
underground
apparently from
subculture of Doge memes that have just like grown out of nowhere. Where there's Chins, there's Doge, there's Pero. They're like characters, and they're just like comics.
Why is there an Isabel?
It's so stupid. I have a coworker who quotes them all the time at me.
Oh, have you seen the stick bug meme?
No.
So I've seen two of these now. And it starts off with like what you expect to be a normal meme, and then it puts like a bunch of lines in it, and then the lines turn into a stick bug, and then it cuts to a stick bug dancing, and it says "get stick bugged." Lol.
What the fuck?
Let me see if I can find one.
I love
A
him.
video.
It's perfect.
Uh,
I've seen this one Doge meme where it was like Doge walking his kid to this pit. And he's like, "Daddy, what's this?" He's like, "This is the pit of dead memes, son. It's where I arose from."
hmm.
Because I think Doge is like one of the oldest memes to stay around.
Here's an example. Like from the idea is that you show something, and then it turns into something else.
Yeah.
That's really loud. Probably don't click play with your audio on in the chat. This is just like the first example I can find, but apparently there's a bunch of them.
Hmm.
It's mostly stupid.
I do like my stupid humor.
Yeah.
My stupid surrealistic humor. Either way, you want to wrap it up for today?
Yes.
Because I've got like work in a half an hour.
Yes.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, my name is the Infamous Oryan, and I was an aesthetic schmo today.
My name is Chiral, and I am a schmo without aesthetic.
And this has been the Two Schmo Show.